Hi, welcome back to Lens Pro. I'm going to do a costume look for you, and you're just going to kind of bear with me because I don't know where I'm going with this. So you'll just have to see. It's going to be some kind of ghoul, I think, maybe with a light skin tone. I got a lot here to look at that I'm gonna be playing around with, and I hope you like it. And if you haven't subscribed, please click below and subscribe, and subscribers, welcome back, and I'll see y'all in a minute. Okay, I got some colors that I wanted to start out with, and these are all made from RCMA foundation, and I don't know exactly what the skin color ones were because I just grabbed them. And I don't know if it's zoom in and you can kind of see this. Is it going to show you? These are my lighter colors. If I pointed the right thing, yeah. It's like a ivory color and then a white. Is that a white? No, like a pink skin tone. And then I use a, let's see, a darker skin tone, more of a gray brown skin tone, and then I of course grab some blue, red, black, and then a white. No, wait, where's my white? I use my white for something, but I'll grab some more white. And then I made olive green and then kind of a burnt orange, and I have my yellow and my red. Yeah, my red. And so I'm going to kind of use those just as base to draw any little veins and stuff that I'm kind of envisioning in my head right now. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you can play with your foundation colors instead of getting any grease paints that the store have. So you can use what you already have in your kit. So here's where I started with the yellow. I added it around my eyes, the socket of my eyes, and underneath my eyes, and even out towards my outer brow. I wanted to add some sallowness to my eye area. I added it also to the other eye, of course, and I patted it in to where it really did become part of my skin tone. I wanted to have this really kind of sick, kind of, really yellow, almost a bruised kind of look to my eyes. The thing that we usually try to cover up with makeup, I'm actually adding it into my skin and kind of pulled it in towards the nose bone as well. I started adding my foundation on, and I didn't really want to blend it so much into the yellow to cover it up. Just kind of feathered the edges in with my Beauty Blender sponge, and then added it through my cheek area all the way over my nose, and then just really pushing it into my skin so I didn't have so much of a really heavy foundation, but wanted the foundation to actually look more like my skin. And I took that kind of taupey gray, kind of brownish foundation and pushed it really into the hollows of my skin and took it down towards the bone of my chin as well. And then I blended the other foundation out towards my chin, underneath that hollow part, then of course across my forehead and through the top of my nose and around my hairline as well, blending it with my Beauty Blender and getting it to really just blend in with my skin and not so much sit on my skin but become part of my skin. Okay, and because I have spray tanned myself, I am gonna just lighten my neck a little bit, not all the way down. If it was a full costume, depending on my costume, which will probably be short sleeve or something, I do like my arms and a little bit lighter, not as light as my face, but I'm just gonna add a little bit here and there. I wanted an even lighter coverage on my neck because I just wanted to lighten up my skin just where I had been spray tanned myself. So I really just used my fingers and just kind of just lightly spread it over my neck and kind of down into my collar area. creating these little veins was really fun. I used the green or kind of khaki green color, olive green, that I made and created very, like, they weren't really veins, just more like kind of squiggly lines that faded in and out on various lengths all the way around my eye socket. And I made the spaces in between, and I actually went back with one color, the green, and then and I went all the way from the inside waterline of my eye and went all the way down past my like orbital bone there, and then I would switch up the color, and I do some with the green, and then go back and do some with that kind of orangey brick red kind of color that I had made. And that's how I created those little lines. And as I was making them, I would go back and kind of pat the color into the skin to kind of make parts of it disappear, where it looked like you were seeing them through the skin instead of seeing them right drawn on. So they had that kind of translucent, like you were really looking at them through the skin look. I used a flat brush, but it was a very small flat brush made mainly for using shadow or liquid liner in the waterline. And I was actually rolling the brush as I started placing it on the skin to kind of give that variated kind of line. And then I would kind of push down and turn towards the end of the line, and it gave it that, where it didn't have that perfect where it didn't look super drawn on. It had a little bit more of an organic feel to it. And then, obviously if it was looking a little bit too uniform, all I had to do was, pat some parts of it into the skin, and then it had a little bit more of a irregular feel to it. And I didn't, want each line to look exactly the same. And then I had this like one line that was a little bit longer. It was red too, and that one turned out to be really cool with the look, because it's like you barely saw some of them, and then you see this like one darker, a little bit more more standoutish vein to it. And you could have free will to do this with anything. Like the vein I'm going to do on the side of that starts at the crack of my mouth is a blue, and that turned out really, really cool. You could do that on the underneath of the eyes too. You could even do this with the blood gel. That would be really neat too. When I wanted to do the side of this, and I had this blue vein idea, I wanted to start kind of at the corner of the mouth and then go out towards and kind of up towards my ear. And I didn't do the research to see like what actual veins are right there. So I just kind of in my mind thought of a leaf and how in branches. And so that's kind of where I went with the drawing of these veins right here. Take one and then branch off, take another and branch off. And so that's what I was doing when I was drawing this, and just kind of going up with it. And it was a lot of fun. And then I felt like it kind of did look like veins, whether they are actually like that under your skin or not. But it looked really cool. And I did the same kind of patting in, and I did add a couple on my eyelid as well. I went back to my yellow and added a little bit more around my nose and the crack around the outside, and I did add a little bit in the inside, and then blended that out. I actually added a little bit of the yellow and the green and just blended that together on that same small brush I'd been working with, and I added it in the corners of my mouth, just to give a little bit more of that sallow kind of healed, bruised look on my skin. And I did on the bows of my lips too, to just give a little bit more dimension to the skin and have a little less of that flat canvas foundation look there. And for the top of my eyes, just kind of right on the lash line, top and bottom, I'm using a dark taupey gray kind of Again, with that kind of sickly undertone kind of thing to it. And there's no correct way to do this. You just, messier the better, but you want to use like a dense bristle brush so you're not getting it everywhere, all over, underneath too much. Like, you know, way down on your cheeks. It can go all under your eyes, because what you're wanting to do is just create a real organic shadow. Taking that same brown, I'm obviously doing the other side of my eye, on the lid, under the lid, kind of in the occipital bone, all around. And then I wanted to actually blend that up into the nose bone, like the actual nose bone, and making that look a little deeper and darker right across there. And not on the side of the nose, but right there on the face. Not necessarily on the cartilage, but across the bone too. And then I went up right above my eyebrows. I did around my lip, underneath my lip, around the nose, kind of in the nostrils. Extended that shadow right around your lip, like bringing it out. And then right on the temples right there, just to give that a little bit of a dark shadow right there too, where that bone is, up into the hairline. Just to kind of give that a little bit more of some depth. I did add a little bit more down into the fold of my nose too. Just adding a little bit of shadow here and there to just give myself a little bit more darkness. Okay, that's it. I'm going to finish this off with a lipstick that's called Melted Ice Cream. It's just going to take all the color out of my lips. I didn't use any liner with this. I used it straight from the tube. It went all the way from corner to corner on the inside of my both top and bottom lip, so there would be absolutely none of my natural pink lip showing. And there we go. So this is my Ghoul makeup, or Patient Zero, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, so I had fun doing it. I hope it's easy to do. It really is. All you need is your foundation, maybe some extra colors. You could use eyeshadow for the little veins and stuff. So yeah, this is actually, because people are going to ask, it's the Too Faced. It's from the I Want Candy, from Candy Johnson's makeup collection that launched earlier. And it was limited edition, so if you have it, great. It's called Melted Ice Cream, and it's this color. I mix it with other things, but it's perfect for this kind of thing. I can't wear this color on like a daily basis, but it is so yummy and I love it, and it does smell and taste like melted ice cream. So here we go. This is it. Little veins, and the way they fade in and out makes it so cool. And if my light wasn't so bright, oh, there it goes again. You could see. Thanks for watching.